Hey everybody, so I'm about to show you some disturbing images and video. So if you do not have the stomach for it, you should probably move along. But for those that are going to stick around, I'm about to show you some information regarding some very tragic events that happened at the Cobb jail a few years ago. And why am I showing this to you now? Because there's been some question and controversy as to why I continue to relentlessly look into what has happened in Fulton County DA's office, the Fulton jail, and now the Cobb DA's office, and to a certain degree, the Cobb jail. Well, I've prepared this video to explain to you some of these events that I think a lot of people aren't aware of. And it also explains kind of why I won't shut up, despite the fact that there are some very powerful people that want me to shut up. So if you stick around to the end, I'll kind of explain all of it to you. But I appreciate your patience. Check this out. It's important for people to know. This is Reginald Wilson. In 2018, he was arrested in Cobb County, Georgia for a probation violation. He was having a mental health crisis. After 8 days of being placed in a padded room, he was found not breathing, covered in his own waste, where they believe he had been left alone for 18 hours. The cause of his passing away was described as dehydration due to bipolar disorder. I've also seen it listed as natural causes. One investigator, who was understandably shocked by what they had seen, described his cell as looking like a horse stall. This is Kevin Wingo. In 2019, he was 36 years old and he had been arrested for possession of illegal substances. 4 days after his arrest, he complained of severe abdominal pain. For the most part, his cries for help were ignored. While some staff wanted to help him, no one ever took him to the hospital. Instead, apparently because his cries for help had become annoying, he was instead placed in solitary confinement, where he lay on the floor and eventually passed away from a perforated ulcer. Based on what I've read, this means that the acid from your stomach is leaking out into your abdominal cavity and covering your internal organs in acid. I can only imagine how painful that must have been for him. So the sheriff at the time of these two inmates passing away, as well as several other inmates at the jail, was Sheriff Neil Warren, who's pictured here. Now, of course, for the families, this was a horrendous tragedy, and also it was deeply concerning to everyone in the community. So understandably, everyone in the community felt that the sheriff's office and what was going on at the jail needed to be investigated. So during that time, Sheriff Warren's chief deputy was Sonia Allen. She was literally the second in command at the sheriff's office and at the jail. So when they were suffering from the white hot spotlight of the world looking into all of the things that were going wrong in the jail, including the passing away of inmates, they finally acquiesced and agreed to have an independent law firm look into what was going on at the jail. Sonia Allen eventually did a sworn affidavit that said that she explained that the law firm's review would alleviate public concern, uncover areas of improvement, and would review allegations of mistreatment, including the review of inmates passing away. So while that sounds really good, who do you think that they got to do this, quote, independent review? Nathan Wade. That's right, the same Nathan Wade that was part of the Fulton County Fonnie Willis fiasco. But this all happened before that fiasco. So yes, Sonia Allen at the Cobb Sheriff's Office as the #2 deputy at the jail went ahead and had her friend Nathan Wade become the, quote, independent investigator that they needed. He was paid tens of thousands of dollars, and to this day, no one has ever seen a single written report regarding this crucial investigation that he was supposed to do into all sorts of misconduct that was apparently happening at the Cobb jail, including apparently the unaliving of 12 inmates. So eventually the local news, 11 Alive, got onto the fact that there was something really fishy going on here, and they filed an open records request, but nothing was produced. And during a hearing where Nathan Wade had to testify, um, they were asked, "Did you have any records in your possession after you undertook this huge investigation?" And Nathan Wade said he didn't, and his firm didn't. He said that he didn't have any documents, communications, anything related to his work investigating a dozen inmate unalivings as well as other issues at the jail. He said he took some paper notes, but that he destroyed all of those paper notes. And when they asked him if he had anything, he said, quote, "I have obviously my brainchild, what's going on in my mind about it. That's what I have." That's it. There was never any report issued, despite the tragedies that had happened at the jail. So now let's fast forward. In 2021, Sonia Allen left the sheriff's office and went to work for this person on the left here, Fonnie Willis, who we know was at that time and is currently the district attorney of Fulton County. Sonia Allen goes in and works in her, and you can't make this up, anti-corruption unit. And I want to make it really clear because people might be confused how she could go from the sheriff's office as a deputy to working in the anti-corruption unit as a lawyer in Fulton County. So she did graduate from law school in 1999. You can see this here on her Cobb government information page. And then the Georgia bar shows that she was admitted to practice law in November of 2010. I do not know why there was a space between 1999, when she graduated from law school, and when she was finally admitted to the bar in 2010. But at least as of 2010, we know that she was allowed to practice. In 2024, after only about 3 years as a practicing prosecutor in Fulton County, Sonia Allen decided that she was qualified to be district attorney in Cobb County and ran against this man who was the serving district attorney, Flynn Brody, and a widely respected person by lots of people, including me. And she defeated Flynn and became the district attorney in Cobb County starting January 1, 2025. Immediately upon taking office, one of the first things that Sonia Allen did as district attorney in Cobb County is remove some of the most experienced, well-regarded prosecutors in the county. This came as a shock to lots of people in the Cobb judicial campus, defense bar, judiciary. Pretty much everybody was surprised. And what made it worse, guess who she tapped to help with the interview process on who would stay and who would go out of the Cobb County District Attorney's Office? That's right. Our friend Nathan Wade is back again. So he has, at this point in time, already gone through the Fulton fiasco, already gone through the Cobb jail, questionable reporting, and now he is acting as her helper in deciding who should be a district attorney in Cobb and who shouldn't. And I should note that they've probably been close this entire time because she did actually run her campaign out of his office at 1827 Powers Ferry Road, Building 25, Suite 100. So they had ongoing contact this entire time. And only a few short months after she took office and got rid of so many prosecutors, we know what happened with Mahendra Patel. He was wrongfully accused of a serious crime. He was held wrongfully in the Cobb jail for 6 weeks because Sonia Allen's district attorney's office refused to allow him to have a bond, even after they had seen the surveillance video. And it took them months after that before they finally agreed to dismiss his case. Yet they have never taken responsibility for all of the wrongdoing that occurred in this case. Just like no one's truly ever been held responsible for what happened to Reginald Wilson or what happened to Kevin Wingo in the Cobb jail.
So I hope y'all can understand why I do the things I do. It doesn't matter if people call me names. It doesn't matter if people question my motives or they try to make it about the red team versus the blue team. These people are not red team, blue team. They're human beings. They're people who had lives and families and did not deserve to be treated the way they were treated. That's what the focus is on. The focus is on figuring out where our tax dollars are going, why they aren't going in the right place, and why the right decisions aren't being made by the leadership in Fulton County and in Cobb County. I will not shut up. And I hope that you all will continue to pay attention and help me shine a spotlight on this wrongdoing, because until we force these leaders to do the right thing, they're going to continue to try to get away with things, whether that's money or mistreatment of individuals everywhere across the country. So hang in there with me, please. I appreciate it. And I'll keep you updated.